Yes, welcome back. Nancy on top of the Good Morning Nigeria show. Now you did. So INEC don't talk today. They under pressure to make sure they deliver on free, fair, credible, and inclusive election. Election where you be say no matter how they do you go follow, join hand and body together, vote person where you want vote for. And the matter don't come be say how INEC won't use make sure say this one happen. They ready at all to carry everybody along. How they go take do them? And the matter we won't discuss with this. But before we introduce the guests we get today, we get some kind of report we consign them. We go help you understand this matter well. After this report, they come back to touchlight the matter better.
As we dey ready for a 2023 general election where they come so, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, don't bring plenty things we go make the election go well to make sure say free, fair and credible election day for the election where they come so. Inside the plenty things where them they do to make sure say election go well, they no forget people where they live with disabilities or in fact they don't let us know say assurance cover them and say make they ready for the general election where go shell for 2023. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Rivers State, Dr. Johnson Senikiam, been give this assurance for voter sensitization workshop for persons living with disabilities for South Zone, where Abinu Foundation and European Union been host. And the team for this event now able to vote. For the event, it talks say they go provide devices like Bali ballot guide, magnifying glasses, and posters for the deaf to ensure say persons living with disabilities go participate for the election and then go do anything with their power to make sure people where they live with disability go they involved for the electoral process before, during and after the elections.
I like the fact that we say INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Inside River State using own mouth talk this one because we don't the one that talk say how they go use include all these people where be say they live with disability inside the election, but it's good as they don't talk them. But the matter still remain, we really don't ready. INEC don't really ready to bring all these people together. In fairness to them, for inside Oshune's election we just passed, so see as in provide magnifying lenses for some people where they live with albinism so that you go fit aid their sight, when for fit see waiting they won't vote. But I see they ask, that thumb printing on, people will not get armed to thumb print, how they won't take do them? What's in INEC don't they put in place to make sure say it happen? I should say people where they live with disability, they're in the best position to answer this question. When our guests join us, you go use put math inside. And I not say you get a lot of things where BC won't talk about this matter. Because a lot of us they wonder how EBC will go make sure say we include everybody, carry everybody along.
Yeah, INEC promise say they go deploy people with disability when the abbreviation are PWD. Anytime they use called PWD, make them understand say now people with disability. Now, they promise say they go deploy them as monitors, collation, returning.
Or they go also work as staff.
Officers, fantastic. Supervisors. They don't promise all these things. And more so, the Abinu Foundation hosts Mahmoud Yakubu to talk. They engage them, they ask them plenty questions, how they want to include them into the whole process, and which they give quite insightful words, interesting words to them. And they still even talk, say, some of the places when they say that they use, that they urge government, that they urge schools, say, may they create access to them to make sure, say, if it accommodate there. Say, a lot of places, you when they use your wheelchair, you not go fear access them. So they need to put those kind of things into consideration, create those parts for them and all that. So, according to INEC, they don't really give all-round thoughts about them. But now to get this our man now to talk whether all these things when they say INEC don't talk, not be this year, they don't talk since 2019 they come. Whether INEC don't live up to all these responsibilities.
You know why this now a huge concern to me? Because if you look at the margin for inside the last election, we get the 2019 election, we get 84 million registered voters. And then person win with 15 million votes. Person way fall for back, win with about 10 million plus votes. Then, total of, make I say roughly 30 million votes. 9 people use vote for inside the 2019 election. For inside Nigeria, so far, according to statistics, we get about 25 million people where they live with disabilities. This number, they're too huge for us to ignore. This number will make a lot of significant difference for inside our election if we include them for inside this election. 25 million, not be small thing. That's to say 1 in every 8 person. I mean, if on account 8 of us, we dey like this now together, 1 person feel they live with one form of disability or the other. So the number they too much for us to ignore. Now it make it very important. I like the fact that we say, you know, the community don't come together now to they press the point, say themselves they need to carry them along for inside this matter. Because 25 million people, not be based, even though say now.
You know, say, even that 25, they call that one are just speculation. They never even get a clear data.
Estimated.
They never even get a clear data. Most in particular, the areas with the largest concentration of PWDs, they try to walk that one out. So like you talk, they're going to make a large, significant block in the electionary process. So they don't need to just look them through a face at all.
I agree with you.
They can make the difference. So I just feel say, yes, now waiting, we really need to put into very, very large concentration. Took I put where. But really, if you look reports, INEC really give out a lot of things when they don't really put in place to accommodate PWDs. Like we talk again, whether they don't carry them out. Or waiting be the promises. And then we even look, even a budget day for them, the budget safe, where they even drop, which they say, it capture people with disability. Because they need special things.
All right, so our guests don't join us. Oga Jake Epele, he day with us now. Oga Jake, good morning. You there?
Good morning, I greet you.
We greet you too. We summon you correct greeting, Oga. Welcome. Now the Good Morning Nigeria show be this inside Wazobia.
Thank you.
Oga
I'll be Abuja, but I'll be Niger Delta.
I understand. As I see Jake Epele, I don't say be my Rivers brother, but don't tell them before. So you be founder of Albino Foundation, Abi?
Yes, so by God's grace.
Exactly. So we don't they wonder, say, inside this election way, be say we won't do now. If we calculate the crowd of everybody where they live with disability for Nigeria, estimation, no, that one not be saying at the right figure, they saying about 25 million people. And this figure too plenty for us to ignore for inside this election where they come up so. Based on the joint body one I don't they do with INEC and meetings one I don't do with them so far, how prepared you think say INEC don't they to make sure say they include everybody where they live with disability, not just people where they live with albinism for inside this election where they come for 2023?
I thank you. My work not just be for people who live with people who get albinism. My work now for people who get disability for Nigeria. INEC don't try, but we still have a lot to do. The number where you quote, I believe say we passed that number. INEC, they say that about 90 million people go participate for this election. Out of that 90 million, people where get disability, you know, people with disability make a talk the right way.
Okay.
We expect that INEC expect that we will contribute about 16% of the entire electorate.
Over 10
of all we go vote. 16%.
That's over 10 million people.
That's a critical number.
Yes.
In other words, if we decide, which is not what I'm preaching, if we decide that we're going to vote for one candidate, that candidate don't win. 16% will be our number, is equal to many African countries' number.
Population.
You know, yeah. So we be number where anybody no go neglect. You know, so in terms of what INEC is doing, you know, INEC now one organization among many organizations of government. They know if you do everything. So organizations like mine and others, they support them to make sure, say, inclusivity, which means adding everybody, go become a reality. It go be something will go happen for our electoral process.
All right.
Yeah.
INEC, they promise say they want to deploy PWDs as monitors, collation returning officers, supervisor. To what extent now it be say they don't implement this?
It's difficult for me to hear you, but I feel like say you they say
INEC they promise to deploy collation monitors, supervisor, PWDs. They promise that they deploy them, join.
Yes.
So the question there is to what extent now it be say they don't implement this word where they talk?
The volume, the word for your side, but I hear you small. Yes, not only are they promising, they don't do them.
Okay.
They don't do them for Ekiti. They do them for Shu, and it work, So we are monitoring to ensure that they fulfill their promise. I can beat my chest to say I trust Mahmoud. I trust him, because most of the things he has said to me, to others that he will do, I have seen him do them. Sometimes there's a problem between his promises and those in the field performing it. You understand? But that's our job, to monitor implementation, So not only that, my organization, to the glory of God, where we deploy 700 election observers because of the challenges within our community. 60% of that will be purely persons with disability. 40% will be people who don't get disability. So that there are a lot of things that they can do, they can help us do that we will not be able to do ourselves. I'm not a denialist. I don't live in denial. I know that, yes, you go see me wear glasses and all that. I know they see well, proper. Somebody where they struggle on wheelchair cannot run as fast as person will get full legs. So some people say, "Oh, look at you! I get albinism, and I'm very, very proud that I get albinism. I thank God, because if I don't get albinism, how you go invite me for your show?"
All right, so Oga Epele, thank you. Make I call you Senibo. Senibo Epele, thank you. You good as you don't help us, touch like say true. INEC don't work towards deploying people living with disability into the, ad hoc staff of INEC, basically as monitoring members and other things. Then we go happen, or people will go join body work to the, effectiveness of the election. But to the next matter where they ground, are they worried? Are they often wonder? Because with the way the beavers use be, then talk say the way you go fit use register for beavers now with your eye, now you go use capture you, or with your thumb print. So for people when no get arm, for instance, when no fit thumb print, what in INEC they do as substitute? And God forbid, person come blind, can't see no get hand or arm to use thumb print. It get any alternative where INEC don't create to use ensure that they include them for inside this election, including those who go vote, say na thumb print. You get an alternative to thumb printing where INEC don't create.
My sister, you be something else. Your question a very, very intelligent one. As I look you, so I say, I wish my son never married, and you never marry. But
Thank you, sir.
On the lighter mood. Truly, my sister, the question where you ask, now very important question. INEC don't promise us say, specifically people where they talk to, especially now people where they cut their hand,
yes, amputees.
people where they suffer from leprosy. You know, INEC, they plan an alternative voting that will be made available for them so that no one will be left behind. We know that they don't get hand. It should be like us, a person with albinism. We know they see well. So what's the solution? INEC don't provide magnifying glasses.
We
So
even
that-
see that for Osun State.
Yes. So that we go fit see waiting with the vote. You know, they also provide large print posters so that if, for instance, I go to the polling unit, I go look at what are the processes that I need to follow to vote. You know, my sister, the truth is, yes, all of us are activists. You know, activism don't move from the days of go bring out Mahmoud for street. We march, go and block INEC gate. Activism is using soft power now. The soft power of engagement. I engage you, diplomatic advocacy. I engage you, you hear my heart, you tell me the solution, we work together and get solution. You know, now the thing we all of us do as people, where they make sure say this election they inclusive enough. You know, no vex. I struggle with this language, but it's good because my people needs to hear waiting they talk. Whether we get them right or if not get them right, or you know. Wazobia, know they pay me like they pay you. So anything what I say, I beg, take them like that.
No,
Yes.
thank you. You
Yes,
tried.
we understand. No problem. According to INEC, the talk said that they intend to urge government and schools to create access to people with disability. The question when I want to ask be say, INEC deploy staff to ensure say this very act is carried out. You know anything?
You know, I dey struggle to hear you, to be honest with you, but if you can repeat what you said.
Okay, wetin I talk, I dey try talk say according to INEC, wetin they talk, they said that they intend to urge government and schools to create access to people with disabilities. The question when I dey wan ask here be say INEC don deploy their staff to make sure say all these things them they carried out across board.
You hear him? Okay, so
Now I hear you well.
So-
Now I hear you well.
okay.
Maybe you repeat.
okay, so make I help you break
Wait.
it down.
When you said Anna here, well, so okay, go on.
No. Repeat what you said because the other time I think your engineer were punching. The
Okay,
system.
you the fit hear me well now. Make a first
Yes.
establish. Okay, I say according to INEC, they intend to urge government and schools to create access for PWDs. And they try to ask whether they don't deploy their staff to make sure say this act is carried out across board.
Okay, my brother, thank you. Another intelligent question. You know, it be like say Wazobia management selected when I went well. The thing, like what we they do now, you know, I don't know if they follow us also for social media and for mainstream media. We launched a project called Able to Vote. Able to Vote. That project, we they go around the country as we speak now. My team in Enugu, you know, yeah, that project is to bring INEC and the community of persons with disability and CSOs that are intervening in that space. We bring these three people together. It's a high-level engagement. Not any person. We they bring the RECs, the resident electoral commissioners, face-to-face with persons with disability. Those in charge of voter education, those in charge of election monitoring, those in charge of ICT. We they bring them face to face. We they bring things, practical things, for that town hall meetings, and they engage the community and tell them how they will carry out the assignment, So waiting will they do? Will they make sure say waiting INEC don't agree with us that they go do? We will now bring them face to face with the people that they could do those things for. By the way, we don't set up guideline for how INEC will conduct inclusive election. Documented guideline. We don't set up documented guideline for how political parties will increase participation of persons with disability. And for the first time in this country, we give glory to God. For the first time, we have 16 candidates that are going to contest this election.
Wow.
16 across the country. That's a small number, but is our starting point.
Yes.
To also make sure that they win, they bring them together for Abuja. I think it's on the 28th. For what we call electability convergence. The people that are going to be elected, we are now helping them how to do your campaign, how to raise money, how to build political consensus, how to engage your electorate. Most important, and this one, Nami they handle them, I call it political leadership. Teaching them competence, capacity, and character. This is very important. The failed leadership we have today are a result of these three things. We bring people into office that are not competent, they don't have the skills, They will bring people into office that don't have character. All they think is themselves and how much they are going to make. We bring people into office that don't have the capacity, they don't have the ability, the strength, understand, to carry out the exigencies of a given office, So in our community, where we do these small things that we do, thanking people like you, your management, that will create opportunity like this for people to hear what we do, and for our community to also hear what they go do. So all hands are on deck. Let me say this from my spirit. I believe that this election will work. Forget about all this fear that politicians are bringing into the system, stoking fears here and there. This election will work. And trust me, this will be the greatest election that the young people with disability, will participate and vote a choice candidate. This time around, I think we have a few good candidates amongst the 18 presidential candidates.
Nice.
And people go vote their conscience. I don't believe people that say collect their money, still vote what you want. Don't collect their money.
Okay,
reject their money. Vote your conscience.
Right, okay, that question what you could ask. Are they worried? Because most of our government properties and most of the primary schools and facilities where we see this election will take place, most of them know they upwardly mobile for people living with disabilities. I feel saying aware if the fallout of in question they come from. Yeah. So based on this, don't they deploy, don't they make sure say they on INEC now to create a path, accessibility for Ona now before time reach, because they still get time 2-3 months to make sure say they fit create avenue for Ona to fit access those polling units to Ona go vote.
My sister, you don't become my friend after this program. You become my real friend, because they ask me the matter where they touch me for bone. In management, I no be management expert, but I try manage my family, manage my work. There's what is called adaptability management. Being able to adapt to the situation that you find yourself. We have made a proposal which INEC bought into. We know that many primary schools, many public buildings, and the places where these polling boxes will be placed may be high, and accessibility will become an issue. We are agreeing with them and training their staff to engage party agents. Whenever there's a person with disability and there is no accessibility to the polling unit, it will good make we bring down the polling box to the place where this person go vote, and collectively take it back so that nobody go feel say they snatch ballot box or anything. Just to make sure that everybody will participate in this election. Apart from that, there are places now that there's been mapping where some of our organizations, my organization no do that one, but other organizations do them, mapping of accessible places where there's a likelihood that INEC will use those things. But also, another friend of ours, Inclusive Friends, they don't design a special polling unit where it's a bit more easier for persons with disability to actually vote with that voting cubicle. So we are like I said, we do the little that we can do. Remember, many of us like me, one done the old, So now to contribute, waiting, we fit contribute and leave the generation behind to even do more. That's why in my organization, recently, in the reorganization where we do, everybody where I employ, I don't think anybody, maybe just one person that is 40 something. Every other person is 20 something, 30, not up to 35. So we're building the next generation organization that would intervene more than we have done. But
nice one.
My focus is to entrench and ensure that all of these good practices, global practices, are captured in a policy and framework that will live after us. And INEC has that policy.
Wow.
Political parties have that policy. Intersecurity agencies have that policy. We recognize these 3 tier of intervention agencies as critical stakeholders that we need to influence them and ensure we give them the right tool to drive inclusion of persons with disability. I'm a disability inclusion champion, and I will remain so until God calls me home.
Yeah, nice one, Oga Epele. But if I go ask you, is there any provision in the INEC budget to make this process easier for people with disability?
I don't know what your engineer touched before. I think we've gone back to the problem where I know it just like say you carry water from mouth.
All right, sir.
But I know to hear you well.
Okay,
I say, is there any provision where there is an INEC budget to make this process easier for people with disabilities?
Okay, I'm really. The only thing I hear for people with disability, I don't know what your engineer touched last time. That thing where they touch work.
Now, I just count my words. Count my words for you.
Okay.
I say whether.
Go ahead.
I say whether any provision there for inside INEC budget to make this process easier for people with disabilities.
Okay, so what I heard was whether you're asking me is you said any provision by INEC.
Yes.
To make what?
In INEC budget to make this process easier for people with disability.
It's relatively difficult for me to hear you, but all I hear was INEC and provision for persons with disability.
Yes,
maybe somebody can type it.
It did inside any provision they INEC budget to make this process simple, easier for people with disabilities.
Any provision by INEC that will make the process generally simple for people with disabilities. Is that your question?
Yes, whether budget day for INEC with their budget for PWDs?
It's
all right,
really difficult to hear you. But if you can hear me,
Pele, you dey hear me?
let me
Go
go
ahead. You dey hear me? You dey hear me? You dey hear
Yes.
me? All right. Before
Yes.
I go help you ask the question when you ask, but before I help you ask, I make I just let our people know, say, phone line don't open, because I know, say, some people where they live with disabilities, we won't call to use ask 1 or 2 questions concerning this matter, and they don't they itch to call us. So phone line don't they show now for screen. Mokona ready to call us to tell us, ask question. Oga Ipele dey here, go answer your question. If it also send WhatsApp message. So Oga Ipele, the question what you could ask be say, from INEC budget for inside this 2023 election, they put out provision to make sure, say, they include all of these things what would they talk to enable inclusivity of people living with disabilities for inside this election. If they inside their budget, I mean, the one where they go talk, say money no day to use effect them.
It be like say this microphone like you pass him, but you know, I hear you very well. You know, say first, we know say if we begin to make all the noise, you know, about include us, and we no get any law, we go hold INEC responsible. Na babash. If we no get any law, we go hold INEC, make them spend money. Na babash. So we fought for the inclusion of disability resources, or resources that will be needed for election, for our Electoral Act, Section 54, subsection 1 and 2. All these things we dey talk today, they for our Electoral Act. So INEC no say by law, if they no do them, people like me fit go court and challenge even the election, you know. So because it dey for our Electoral Act, automatically it dey for their budget. So to answer your question straight, yes, INEC get the money to buy most of these things we dey ask for. But you know they enough. You know they enough, to be honest with you, you know, because in the data where INEC release, people with albinism, and I'm very proud to say this, that people with albinism is leading the entire community of persons with disability in terms of eligible people that have, you know, that will vote.
Registered voters.
Eligible voters with disability. Okay? Yeah, the albinism community is leading. All right? This is not my data. This is not the work that Albino Foundation, this is INEC. This is in their portal, is there for anybody to see and verify, you know. So are you now telling me that INEC should go and buy 40-something thousand magnifying glasses? Each magnifying glasses, the least, the one that is recommended is about 20,000. So if you check 20,000 times 45,000, for instance, that's a huge amount of money for just one segment of persons with disability. Yeah. So, and then of course they will have to get braille. They will have to pay sign language interpreters, you know, for the hard in hearing or the deaf, you know. They will have to have ad hoc staff whose job it will be to probably lead a person who is blind to a point where he will vote. You understand? You know. And that reminds me, an idea just occurred to me now as I talk here, you know, that we may have to begin to train ad hoc staff whose job it will be to lead the blind instead of allowing their aides to lead them. Because their aides can go there and the person is saying, okay, vote for this particular party. And the person will vote the person that has given him money. So I think we need to also begin to train
staff.
Guide, you know, special electoral guides. And that reminds me, I think that's one of the things that I will include in our training, because INEC is one of the most accessible organizations in this country. And I say it with no bias at all. Because this thing I said now, if I go there, tell them, and they see it's practicable, they say, do it. You understand? That's the kind of organization that we need. That's the kind of that's why for me, Professor Mahmood to me remains my man of the year. You understand? Because he's accessible, he's open. You know, do you know that this man engages civil society 2-3 times in a year, or even more, quarterly, just to hear them out? You know, so I think it's the kind of pragmatic leadership that we need in this country.
All right, so Oga Epele, your final words, because time no day again. You know, if you get to talk one last thing concerning this inclusivity of people living with disability for inside this election, what think that word could be?
One, for us, we be person with disability, you have the most important moment. Not only are we asking for you to allow us to vote, we're also saying vote us. We are able to vote and we are able to be voted for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oga Jake Epele, now the founder of Albino Foundation, and he carry this matter. He say not be only Albino Foundation matter he carry for head. He say now everybody where they live with disability matter now you carry for head, and we appreciate the good of what they do. More grace to your elbow, more strength to you, sir. Thank you so much.